Much. I think we're good to go. So my name is T Diamond. I am one of the associate directors in the NTU Global Office at Nottingham Trent University, and I'm just here to talk about Nottingham Trent, the kinds of opportunities that we have, and our partnership with Seneca. And I have with me my colleague who's just going to introduce himself quickly.
Hello, I'm Hamza Ikram. I am one of T's colleagues. I'm a Senior Global Partnerships Manager at NTU within the NTU Global team as well.
Thanks, Hamza. So there are going to be occasional QR codes on this presentation. I do encourage people to just take your phones with your camera and look up those QR codes because there's lots of information that sit behind them. This one takes you to our international pages on our website where there's lots of information for parents, visas, accommodation, everything that you might need to know as an international student. So Nottingham Trent University, who are we? So we are right in the middle of the UK in a city called Nottingham. We actually have two universities in Nottingham. Nottingham Trent University and the University of Nottingham. And between us, we bring in roughly 65,000 students into the city of Nottingham every year. Our population is quite small, which means that actually with all of that student intake every year, we have a really young, vibrant city with lots of stuff going on and a real kind of enthusiasm and energy in the city brought to us by those students. We are quite an affordable city. We have lots of student accommodation, so there is lots of choice. And because we are a small city, we do find that students don't have to spend too much on transport. So one of those affordability items is the fact that you can walk pretty much anywhere in Nottingham. We have a tram system and a really good bus system as well. We're a city that's kind of born out of creativity and sport. So the creativity stems from the lace industry, which was our original industry. And in 1843, the government started a design college called the Nottingham Design School, which was based around lace making. And that is where the origins of Nottingham Trent University come from. So we are based from 1843 and we got our university accreditation rights in 1992. We also have lots of sport in the city, and I'll take you through some of those things in later slides. So because we are right in the middle of the UK, we are a great jumping off point for travel and for students that might want to explore the rest of the UK or possibly even the rest of Europe. We have a small airport just outside Nottingham that does really affordable short haul flights to the rest of Europe. We also have a train that goes directly to London, St Pancras, and that takes about 1 hour and 40 minutes to get to London. And if you go in the opposite direction, you can get to Manchester in just under 2 hours as well. So a really well-positioned university if you're interested in looking at the rest of the country. So in the city, we have lots of sporting venues. So we are a city of sport. We have the National Ice Arena. So for any Canadian students that might want to play ice hockey, we have our own ice hockey team. And actually the photo you see there is the Nottingham Trent University team facing off against the University of Nottingham ice hockey team. And because we have a big arena, it's a really fun venue to go and watch that. We also have a test match cricket ground. So if you enjoy watching cricket, we have some of the international games that come to us in Nottingham. And we also have a Premier League football club in Nottingham Forest, who at the moment are doing very well in the league, much to everybody's surprise, which is fantastic. We have lots of historic buildings in the city. It's a very beautiful city in terms of its architecture. This is actually the old trip to Jerusalem, which is proposed to be the oldest pub in the UK, but there are actually other pubs in other places that would contest that. But it's a really great place to go, and it's kind of have sort of immerse yourself in some of that history. And it's actually built into the cave system and into the base of what is Nottingham Castle. The castle sadly burnt down many years ago, but it is now kind of an old stately home and a museum, and it is quite a magical place. So you might be familiar with our most famous export, which is Robin Hood. So Robin Hood, the myth of Robin Hood comes from Nottingham, and we have lots of Nottingham Robin Hood based places in the city. One thing that people don't know about Nottingham is it is actually built on a man-made cave system. It's one of the biggest cave systems in Europe. And as a result of that, there's lots of kind of little nooks and hidden places in the city for you to explore. We have a few bars and pubs that actually sit within that cave system, which are kind of cool places to go and hang out. And we are also one of the greenest cities in the UK. So we have a very ambitious carbon neutral target, which is actually the most ambitious target in the UK. And lots of green spaces that we really look after. So this is actually Woollerton Park. This is about a 15-20 minute bus journey from the city centre, which is where the university is based, right in the city centre. And you might recognise that building. That's actually Wayne Manor in the Batman films, the ones with Christian Bale. We have a very large Nottingham Contemporary Museum. This is actually, I think it has the largest contemporary museum spaces outside of London. It's a really great place to go and immerse yourself in art. There's a lovely little cafe and a shop in there. So that's a little bit about Nottingham, the city, and now the university. So as I said, we were founded as a design school in 1843. We're actually one of the largest UKs in the universities in the UK, and we have a comprehensive academic offer. So we offer most subjects, but we don't have a medical school. So everything except medicine. At the moment, we have approximately 39,000 students and a very, very diverse student body. So those are international students, which make up about 19%, come from 160 different countries. So very vibrant, very multicultural. We do operate across 5 different campuses. So the city campus is the urban campus, right in the heart of the city. That actually houses our big art school, our business school, our law school, our School of Social Sciences, and our Arts and Humanities school. Our Clifton campus is just slightly on the outskirts of Nottingham. That's where we have all of our big laboratories, our science and technology and engineering, all of our sports facilities and sports programs. We have our Brackenhurst campus, which is the photo at the bottom. This is a rural campus about half an hour away from Nottingham by bus. It's beautiful. It's set on acres and acres of farmland, and this is where we have our environmental sciences, equine studies, all of those programs. We also have a small campus in Mansfield, which is for home students only. And then we have a new campus in London, which is just near Whitechapel. And this is a creative campus, the one in London. In London, we do our music production, our content creation. We have I think we're just going to be starting to deliver animation and also games art down in London. So that's at undergraduate level. And then for music, we also do the postgraduate as well. I should say that music also exists in the Nottingham City campus. So there is a choice for those students. So these are the different schools that we have. I've highlighted art and design because that is where we have the formal pathways that come into our fashion school. But I understand that students might be interested in our postgraduate offering from across the whole university. So of course, that is also open to you. I have some photos of the campus itself. So this is just the city campus because this is the main hub for our art and design. But this is actually the Newton building, which is our business school and our main kind of student support services building. On the inside, that is the Newton building on the left-hand side. On the right-hand side, this is our Waverley building, which houses some of our graphic design, animation, art and design programs. That is actually our original building. So that was the original design school that was founded back in the 19th century. And here is the newest building. So I've yet to find some official photos. This is the only one I have so far because it is a brand new building that opened this September. And this is our new design and digital arts building. So we've got some really impressive toys in there. We have a full industry size virtual production wall for our virtual production and filmmaking students, but actually students from across art and design can use those facilities. We have our motion capture studio, green screen studio. It's really exciting. I also have some examples of the kinds of teaching spaces we have. So this is one of our big lecture theatres in the Newton building. This is one of our classrooms from our fashion management programme. This is, I believe, is from psychology and social sciences. And then I have some photos as well of some of our food outlets, which is always very important for students. So we have lots of places for people to eat, to sit down, to have chats. We have lots of open spaces for students to do group work and do work together. We also have something called a global lounge. So this is a social space for students to come. You can use it as a place to just hang out. There's free tea and coffee there anytime that you want it. We have lots of cultural events in there, lots of alumni talks, social events. In this case, the photo actually shows our official city's Robin Hood, who comes to welcome our exchange students every year. And we also have a big celebration each year during Global Week. Global Week, this is an opportunity for all of our international cohort to show off their culture and to come together and to celebrate the diversity of the student cohort that we have. And it really is a huge event, and it's just amazing. If you were to come with us and when you graduate, we have a dedicated space called University Hall. This is where all of our students now graduate. It's a very intimate space. So it's just your own program or maybe cluster of programs that will be graduating together at the same time. So it is a really personal experience. And we have graduations that happen for our postgraduate students that normally happens around November, December time. We're very proud of NTU. NTU has been doing some great things in terms of the rankings, and the work that we've been doing has been reflected in that. So in terms of our teaching, we have been rated gold for the past two cycles. So there's only been two cycles so far, and in both of those we've had our gold ratings. We're very proud to be sustainable. So everything that we do throughout the university, sustainability and employability run throughout the ethos of everything. And that's reflected in our rankings in terms of employability. We are first in the UK according to Uni Compare. That's from 2025, so that's from this year. And the latest UI Green Metric World Rankings for Sustainability, we are second. And that's a ranking we've held for a couple of years now. And I think actually for the last 10 years, we've not been outside of the top 5. Accommodation, we have lots of accommodation in Nottingham at the moment. We have our own accommodation, which is in this photo, which you can book through our accommodation office, but we also have lots of private providers and lots of like private accommodation blocks that have also sprung up. So at the moment, we are a city where there is lots of choice, which is fantastic. I should mention the accommodation actually opens on the 4th of February. That's when people can start booking their rooms. But for international students that come to us for the first time, there is a guarantee of a room. So even if you apply a little bit later and you let us know that you need a room, as long as you let us know and you request this before the 31st of August, then that room is available to you. The later you leave it, of course, the less choice there is. So we do encourage students to look at the accommodation early on in the application cycle. In terms of safety and security, Nottingham is a very student-friendly city. So we have an award system in the UK called the Purple Flag, which cities can sign up to. Well, they have to apply for, I should say, and they get judged on the safety that they have within the city. And the university takes that very seriously as well. So we have 24-hour security across all of our campuses and all of our accommodation blocks. We also have safe places within the university if students need to go and find a safe place after hours. And we are a very diverse and multicultural city, I should say that. So if you imagine Toronto, but then scale it down to a tiny scale, that's Nottingham. That's how I see it. So I always feel very at home when I come to Toronto because of that diversity. We have a great and very engaged student union. So our student union offers lots of support to the students, and through the student union, we have societies and sports teams that our students can join. So if you are wanting to kind of do that extracurricular stuff when you come and you're a student with us, then do check out all of those societies that are on the Student Union website, and I've just popped the website address at the bottom of this slide. So www.trentstudents.org. In terms of faith and culture in Nottingham, we have a multi-faith room on the city campus called the Haven, which is very well used by our students. We also have, of course, lots of places of worship throughout the city, a very diverse city as well. So it's not just about the university, it is about the city itself. And of course, that brings with it some amazing options for food as well. So we have lots of choice across the city with great little independent restaurants. It means that we can cater very easily as a city to everybody's different dietary requirements. So we have lots of vegan and vegetarian options, halal, whatever you need that is available, not just in restaurants, but also in the supermarkets as well. In terms of our employability team, we have one of the largest employability teams of any UK university, and that allows us to really support our students with everything that they need to equip them for going into industry. So students can get practical experience through the employability team in terms of guidance and support of how they're going to go into the career that they want, connections with employers, developing their skills. You can have things like interview practices, helping to support curriculum, your CV, for instance. We also have for students that actually go to do an interview, we have a wardrobe. So if people need a suit or they don't have quite the right outfit that they need to present themselves in an interview, they can come to us and we can help with that. And I should say that employability runs throughout the curriculum of everything that we do. So there is within the curriculum itself, there are lots of opportunities to engage with employers, to engage with what we call work-like experience. So that might be through live industry briefs, it will be through visits to industry, bringing employers in for guest talks, connecting with students elsewhere in the world. There's lots of different ways that we do that. So then I do have some information about the Seneca pathways. So I'm just very briefly going to touch on this. So we have the degree pathways from the Advanced Diploma in Fashion Business Management. That comes into our BA for International Fashion Business, which is a one-year top-up program. And we also have the Advanced Diploma in Fashion Arts, and those students can articulate into the middle of our Fashion Knitwear Design and Knitted Textile program. Now, the students going into the fashion knitwear side, this is a new pathway, and at the moment we're basing the entry level of those students. If you're interested in that, it will be based on your portfolio and an interview. So if you're, you might end up coming into our second year, or you might come into our final year on an exceptional basis. In terms of master's programs in that area, we have a number of fashion marketing management and also fashion making master's programs. Again, if people are interested in the bigger picture stuff, then I believe that this is the QR code that takes you to the International Student Guide, where there is actually a full list of all of our postgraduate provision. But you can also look that up on our website as well, which is on every slide. So it's www.ntu.ac.uk. In terms of the official pathways that we have, so the two from the advanced diplomas, we offer students a discount on fees. So you'll get a £3,000 discount on your fees for the first year that you study with us. Now, all students, of course, can also apply for scholarships. For those students coming through pathways, if you get the scholarship and it is bigger than the £3,000, you will get the scholarship. If the £3,000 is more, then you'll get the £3,000 discount, but we can't unfortunately combine discounts and scholarships together. So it's whichever there is the greater, we will apply to your fees. So we have 25% and 50% tuition fee discounts. We also do have an alumni discount. So for students that come to us into our undergraduate provision, if they want to continue into our master's provision, then there is currently a 20% alumni discount that we can offer. So Again, I have a little bit of information about those pathways. I am then going to move on to some more generic information about how to make applications. So International Fashion Business, as well as the Fashion Knitwear program, these are full-time programs, start in September. So our academic year starts a little bit later than yours. It normally starts at the end of September. In the International Fashion Business, you will do one academic year. You require a 70% GPA, but you don't need English language. So just the virtue of you having your advanced diploma from Seneca is proof of your English language at our end. And you get that £3,000 discount. So currently the fees for September 2025 is 18,250. If you then take away the £3,000 discount, it's roughly £15,250. For the fashion knitwear, it's a slightly different picture. So depending on whether you join in the second or the third year, those fees obviously will change. So for the first year of your study, you get the discount. For the second year of your study, you don't get the discount. So that will be full fees. One thing I should say about both of those programs is the employability stream is very, very strong. So when you come into those programs, you will have a tutor that will engage with you to find out from you what it is you want to do, where you want to go in industry, and then they will plot a path with you to make sure that you have the knowledge, the skills, and the experience that you need when you leave the university to transition into that industry that you've chosen. I have a little information about where you're going to be studying. So for the fashion management programs, we have a dedicated building. So both the undergraduate and the postgraduate students are within that building together. So there's a real ecosystem of fashion management, marketing, business students. And it's a really big family, basically. It's a lovely space with lots of social space for interactions and group work, and then classrooms that go off that middle sort of atrium central space for students to have the more formal learning. If you come into our fashion making, so the knitwear, we have the Bonington building. This is where all of our fashion making takes place. We have a yarn library, which this is dedicated, what's the word? This is the yarn that has been given to the university. So this is free for our students to use. We have hand knitting machines, weaving machines, right up to the big stole machine, knitting machines, which you will learn how to program and how to use. There's a lot of equipment for students to get their hands on, and it's a very, very practical experience. What I should say is we have a very large technical team, and the technicians are on hand across all of our studio spaces to support students with understanding how to use the equipment and being there on hand to help the students make the garments or the textiles that they want to achieve. I'm running out of time, so I'm very quickly just going to talk very briefly about portfolios and then the application process. So both of our pathways, there is a portfolio required. We have lots of information on our website. So I'm just going to kind of pop over these slides very quickly because all of this information is on our website. So I urge students to go onto our website and just look for portfolio in the search bit, and then it will come up with all of this information by different programs so that you can go in and see what is expected from your portfolio. The application process for pathway students. So you make your application, you upload your portfolio. We will invite you for an interview and a chat. For the fashion art students, we will then determine what the best level for you to enter the degree is. And then we urge students to book their accommodation. Then you will complete your conditions. There will be some conditions around your study at NTU, and for the Seneca students for these pathways, you will need to pay a £6,000 advance payment on your fees, and you will need to upload your supporting documents. So that's your transcript with your 70% GPA and your passport. You will then get something called a CAS, which is a confirmation of acceptance for studies. And this is the document that you need to apply for your student visa. Now, you don't need to remember any of this because at every single stage, the university will be sending you emails saying this is what you need to do next. There is a team of people that are available to help with the application, with any questions that you have, and we are available anytime. So Hamza is here with me today. I also have my colleague Cheng Ni, who is one of our pathways officers, and she is there to support with all of the inquiries that our students have. So we have a dedicated portal for Seneca Pathway students. So you can use that QR code. It will take you directly to the portal for the Seneca students. Now, I would urge you, if you're making a pathway application from one of those two pathways I've talked about, please go via the dedicated portal. The reason for that is the name Seneca will be added to your application, which means that we can see you in our system and we can apply that £3,000 discount. So please either use the QR code or you can go in via the Seneca website as well. So on your own home website, on the NTU page or on the pathways page for your program, we have an NTU application portal link and you can go in and make your application that way. Timeline and other costs. So we encourage students to make their applications by the latest by the 31st of May. That's so that you have sufficient time to do all of the other things that need to happen in the application cycle, such as paying your advance payment, booking your accommodation, receiving your CAS letter, making your visa application. There is a cost of living calculator and lots of information around the cost of living on our website. Again, you can just use the search and there is a calculator. There's everything set out in terms of groceries, accommodation, gym membership, whatever you need. You can make your do your maths and just check what that's going to come to. There is a visa cost for the visa. We encourage students to look at the government website for this. We do actually also have a dedicated visa team at NTU. They are part of our international student support team, and they are the ones that have been given, they have all of the information about the visas. So they are the ones to contact if you have visa information that you need. And then in terms of coming to the UK, there is a health surcharge. Currently, that's £776 per year, but that gives you access to our National Health Service. So that's what you pay. You then come, you register with a doctor. You can register with the university doctor or a local doctor, and you can access our hospitals, our health service. If you want to work in the UK, we do allow part-time work under a student visa. At the moment, you're entitled to work up to 20 hours per week, term time, or full-time in the holidays. If you want to then stay on to work in the UK, you can apply for the graduate route visa. So that allows you to stay for up to 2 years after you've completed. We have a large employability team to help students find work, to help with those industry links. I would just caution that coming to the UK and needing to rely on part-time work in order to study is very, very difficult. So we do have lots of jobs that are available in the city, but we also have a lot of students. So I always caution people that you need to have the funds to come regardless of the work in terms of whilst you're studying. But that's just because I have to say those things. I know plenty of students that have found part-time work in bars and shops. But yes. And then just finally, in terms of contacting us, if you need to get in touch for any reason whatsoever, our email address is international.pathways@ntu.ac.uk. My colleague Cheng Ni will be at the other end of that and she'll be able to support you. At any time, myself and Hamza can also be available. I always urge students to have a look online. We have a Nottingham Trent University YouTube channel. There's lots of videos in there, campus tours, program tours. There's lots of students that have posted videos about their experiences. So do your research, go online, have a look at all of that information that's out there. And we really hope that you choose Nottingham Trent University and you come and you visit us. And if you do, please let us know because we would love to invite you to a big welcome event next October when we do our Pathway Partners welcome event. So thank you very much. I hope that's been interesting. There are no questions at the moment, which is fantastic. So
thank you very much, T. That was
thank
very
you.
informative. I think you pretty much covered everything. But yes, for the students who have just joined us, if you do have any questions, please post them in the chat. My colleague Samantha has also posted a direct link to our pathways from the Seneca diploma programs to the degree programs, and as well the contact information. So this is the best email for them to get you at, international.pathways@ntu.ac.uk, right?
That's
there.
right,
And
yes.
then all the social media handles. Perfect. And we have recorded this session. So this session will be available where you went and registered for this session. We will be posting these probably later next week, and you'll be able to view these at any time. As well, we have been, yeah.
I'm sorry if I spoke really quickly. I was very aware of the time.
It was excellent. So students can always go back and review it later. There was lots of really great information there. You have a beautiful campus and really great facilities, an excellent opportunity for students. And we have done a number of different sessions this week. There's still time to register for more of our upcoming sessions. So please feel free to do so. All sessions this week will be recorded and will be posted on our website. So yes, doesn't look like we do have any questions, but students can also reach the Academic Pathways team. We've posted here our email address, and then you can also book an advising appointment with us at any time. So thank you very much, T, for your presentation and for joining us today. And Hamza, thank you. And thank you to the students for coming.
Yes, thank you everybody that's watching, and lovely to see everybody. Looking forward to seeing you in Nottingham soon.
Thank you.
Thanks everybody. Bye.
Bye.